Hey y'all, let me know you're here. What y'all think about that? I have a new intro. Fun, fun, fun. Hey, glad you guys are here. We're gonna have a fun one today. I, we're gonna do turtle time. Did y'all see the teas with our little mold? And I had our little clay. I did that last night and I let it set up, and we have a turtle. There's our turtle. And here's our front side. And we're going to talk about this more in a minute. Hey, from Pittsburgh. How's the weather out there? You know, I'm in Colorado and it's crazy here. We went from 80s yesterday to 30s today. Welcome to Colorado. Oh, that'll be fun. 3D lizard. Awesome. Yes, these turtles are fun. We're going to do it a different way. And this is a way I have not done this before. Hey, Seattle. Ooh, it's cold. Yes. Cold front's moving through, that's for sure. Crazy weather. But, y'all, let's talk about this turtle. Let me explain what my goal is first. I want to move that out of the way. Now, my plan for this turtle was to take this mold, which honestly, y'all, once again, screwed up. This I thought was the bigger turtle. So I got this little baby instead, but it's okay. It still works. So what I did is I took the air dry clay, which you can get from Crayola. It doesn't matter what brand you use. You want the air dry clay, okay? Now, like I said, this is the first time I've done this. Oh, San Francisco. How's it? Is it raining out there? Y'all in your rainy season right now? Y'all, I never did this. Always wanted to, never tried it. Said, okay, I'm going to do it for Friday. So I took my clay and I put it in the mold to block out an area. I didn't want resin in this mold. I want it to be hollowed out so I could fill it and make a different scene in this bag. Oh, no rain. We need rain here, but we're good. So I put that in there, wanted to hollow his back out. But what I didn't account for was how far over, see this, his shell went. So when I put the clay in, I put it too wide. So I had to add UV resin to build up a wall for me to do what I want to do. And simply, if you want to build a wall and add more resin, use your resin tape. That's what I did. And I cut it in half. So I'm using less tape. But you press your tape around the edge of your turtle here, and then you just turn it over. And you put your resin in to build that wall up. And I'll take this off because I don't need it, but you can see what I'm saying about building a wall. I have, where did it go? A handheld UV. Damn it, I just had it. Y'all. Okay, so I have a handheld UV pen light that I use. I had my tape along the side. I put my UV in and I used my pen UV light to cure it quickly instead of putting it under a lamp. So I added the UV, cured it just to hold it in place. And then I went around the whole side and added where I can pour it inside this. But for future reference, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to put like a meatball in here, right? We're not going to spread it out along the shell here. We're just going to put a meatball in the center so we get a deep hole. So and even if you build above your mold, that's fine, because whatever is here, you're going to pull that clay out. But I have a different idea. We're going to try some silicone clay for this. So I can pull this out easy and have like an inlay, what I'm looking for. Okay. So there's that. That was a fail. We fixed it with UV resin and I built it up. Now, what I originally intended is I want to make a lagoon. I'm going to put some blue water in here, like he has a little ocean or a little lagoon on his back. Tried using resin tape or a tabletop, or yeah, that doesn't work very well on cardboard. I like using this, and you can see, and I'll be using it later. You see here, I have little holes in the end of his little tail or butt or whatever you want to call it, where bubbles got in there with the sand that I didn't get out. So what I'll do is I'll put resin tape here, and I have a little opening where I can fill this. And if it's overflowed, that's fine. I can either sand it down or use my favorite little cuticle scissors and just snip off anything that's above where I want it. So I use that tape trick a lot to fill these little holes, and it works great. So that's another way you can use that tape trick. But on cardboard, I found that doesn't work either. I have found that using silicone, like silicone caulk, works much better for that instance. So keep that little trick in your back pocket too. But so we have our little guy. I built up some walls. I could have built this up a little higher, but whatever. It is what it is. Now, let me tell you what else I did. I had some leftover sand. So I just put it on a coaster in a pile and let it cure. So now I have an insert that I can input in any design that I have. If I have a deep pour mold and I'm making a scene or an underwater scene or whatever, I have an insert already made that I can put down there. And if this was a bigger turtle, I could use this, of course, if it was bigger, as like a little island or a sand dune or whatever for that purpose too. But this is too big for this turtle to do that. But so don't waste your resin. I mean, don't throw your sand stuff out if you have any left. Make some little pre-made pieces that you can insert in other resin designs. So that's all free too. I'll move him out of the way because we don't need him. So let's talk about what else I want to do. That's probably not going to work in this. I have these cute miniature animals. I'll show you. I'm not got for look. I have these squares that are deep core that I want to do a resin scene in, and this little sand trick would be perfect for this. So I could put that in the bottom, and it's heavy, so it's not going to float up. So that's another good plus for that. But in this, I've got these little animals to do a scene in one of these. That's going to be another project coming up. So make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't, ding the bell, because I'm going to use a deep pour to show you guys how to create a scene using these deep molds. So let's look at our little animals, and I'll show you why. This is just not going to work for the turtle. There's a little stingray, you know, put it in the back. I thought I had some little baby turtles, and I thought that would be so cute. Little baby turtles on the front back. I'm going to look at them. That would be really funny. But I don't have turtles. I thought I did. So I have like these little sharks. We have some dolphins. That's a whale, not a dolphin. Anyway, there's a beluga whale, more whales. There's a dolphin. Anyway, so we have these little animals that we can make scenes with and stuff like that. And I found these miniature. That's the best way to find these. I found these wolves and polar bears. I have some penguins, different things like that. So we're going to play with that in the future. But for now, let's just talk about what we're going to do with this guy. I'm going to set my mold to the side. Because I am going to test out. I don't know if y'all see this before. It's silicone putty. You mix there's a part B and part A. They're measured by weight, and that's why I have wax paper on my scale, because you measure it out by weight, the same weight, and you mix it, and you have like 3 minutes. It's not very long to get it all combined and mixed together. And you just, like with your pull and tapping, just stretch it and mix it and do all that. That's how you mix it up. So I'm going to test that in here and see how that works. So I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to test that out, and I'll let y'all know how that works, if it's any different, better, worse than the air dry play. Well, let's talk about him now. And what I'm going to do, if y'all remember, do y'all remember these envelopes where I tested? I got a sneak peek of Diancapor's new colors coming out for 2026. And it came in that 25 Days of Christmas. And we opened an envelope every day. Well, she had that blue glow in the dark. And I said then, it looks like a blue lagoon. So ever since I saw that then, I wanted to do this. So we're going to use this blue glow in the dark and make like a blue lagoon in his back. Where's my little cup? Smaller cups, because I'm going to show you a trick when dealing with this glow in the dark powder that it's not very friendly or easy or nice to work with. Trying to find a little cups that I have. That part, we use this. Y'all, I'm in the middle of trying to spring clean all my resin stuff too. So I'm just going to use one of these little cups. We're not going to need a lot of resin at all. But I want to show you how to break this powder down before you put it in resin. And we're going to open this pack. Y'all remember this trick? Who remembers? What am I about to do? Do you remember? Well, let's just use well, I want a lower stick. We'll use a stick. No. Let's do it in here. All right. Taking some blue. Can you see that? We our turtle. Can't see. This one's not so bad. It's a pretty fine powder, but I want you to see how we break this down, because a lot of these glow in the dark powders and the neon powder have the same issue. And that is simply they don't break down very easily in resin. So this is a trick to break it down just a little bit. This is my alcohol bottle that I spritz over my resin. And I just put a little bit of alcohol in there. And I'm going to stir this around. And the alcohol is going to break all that powder down. So I have a liquid See that? I don't have those lumps, and I don't have, see that? It's all broke down. I don't have any powder hanging out on the sides or any of that. So let's get our resin. Mustard. Don't need them yet. And I'm going to do, let's put it in here. I'm just going to do 2 ounces. I know it's not going to take 2 ounces, but that's all right. All right, let's measure right. Let's do our A. And we're just only 1 and 1. 1 ounce A, 1 ounce B. It's not going to take long to get there. All right, there's our A, and I'm wiping my lid off, or the lip, because I don't want my lid to get stuck on there. Now let's get our B. Ooh. I'm going to go up to 2. Two. All right. We're there. Again, I'm wiping that lip off because I don't want. That's done. Now, gonna mix this up like so. It's kind of cold. Like I told you, I was in the 30s today. My house is warm. We keep it at 68. So I don't have that problem. I remember I told y'all when you're mixing your resin, make sure you're scraping the sides and the bottom and your stick. You don't want to forget to scrape because that resin really hold on to that stick and you're going to get a weak spot that's not going to cure. Okay? You got to be careful with that. I'm just going to mix this up. Do you have any plans this weekend? I'll show you all. You know, there's other ways you can do those turtles. You can take some mica powder and color the inside of your mold before you pour it. You can take some UV resin and put your eyeballs in your mold before you pour the resin and use the UV to keep them in place. That's a good trick for those. Same thing for your dragons, your lizards, cats, anything like that. Or you can wait and use acrylic marker and color in your eyes after it's cured. I think you're good. That. And y'all, a myth that I want to dispel. There is not a time limit. And what do I mean by that? If I mix for 3 minutes, it's not like, oh, okay, we're good. I don't have to worry about it. No. You know your resin is completely mixed when there's no streaking and it's clear. And that can take 2 minutes. It can take 6 minutes. There's no time limit. So it's not like, okay, I got 3 minutes, I'm good. No, that's not the case. And sadly, I am seeing a lot of people say that. You have to stir for 3 minutes or you have to stir for 5 minutes. And you know what? I'm going to pour my resin into this cup. I'm going to mix in here so I get all that off the sides. Y'all see that? See how easy that combines? And I don't have any powder lumps or I'm not going to see those little specks You know, if you use that neon powder or glow in the dark, sometimes when you look at it, you could see little specks in there, and it's where the powder didn't break down. So using that alcohol treatment really helps a lot break all that down. So it's easily combined. Now, we're going to take our turtle here, and I'm going to pour a little because, like I said, I haven't done this before, and I know that resin is going to pool in the middle, right? Just like it's doing. It's pooling in the middle. And I can scrape it up here so it gets all around our turtle. But it's going to come back down to the center. So don't fill so much in there at first. Okay? And we're going to have to let this sit up. Now, you see what I mean about pouring this in a meatball instead of spread out like I did that clay. You see how it's doing? This is not what I wanted. It's okay for now because I can come back in and I can use some UV colored resin. Remember, I told you guys that you can get these pre-colored UV resin. So you just pour it, cure it, and it stays. And it's going to cure no problem, even if it appears as a solid color. Now, there are some that are translucent. That's purple and blue. Let's see. Of course, it'll be the very last one I pick up. There's blue. Thought I had a. Here we go. There's a royal blue. That's kind of what I want. And I got two. We're going to test these. I'm just going to test it on. I'll move this over. I'm going to spritz this with alcohol. See how we get rid of the bubbles? Gone. So that is a way to do it. And it will work much better if you have a round meatball hole in the middle instead of it spread out where resin is going to see. Like I said, I did not take into account the way the shell is. So, where's that? I want to show you. This is my guide now. Do you see that middle shell? Where's something I can point to right here? This middle shell right here in the center. Just that one. That's what I'm going to focus on from now on. This is big enough, and maybe a little, maybe a third of the next layer of shells. That's enough, but I really want a meatball straight up and down so I have that deep area to work with. So I hope you all learn from that mistake I made and that helps you out. But let's look at these because I want to see. Oh, I love these. Map. Guess I need to get some more. Okay, so that I should have looked at the label. That's pearlescent blue, duh. And I want to look at that's a solid blue. Let's see here. Yeah, I have a lot of colored UV because trust me, we have been asking for this for years. If we came out, let's try this one. I know some of these are, yeah, that's perfect right here. And this is the dark type colored UV resin in blue. And that matches almost perfectly this glow in the dark blue. So what I will do after the cures and start setting up, I'm going to come back with this UV blue and color in the rest of my turtle. And I may add some shells. I'm not going to add any more sand. I don't know. I'll find some other things. Maybe some little flowers. Remember those little flowers that I made in those little molds? Oh, here's some. Here's some of them. Little flowers. So maybe I have like a lily pad or something floating using one of these flowers. So there's a lot of different things we can do. If it was a bare turtle in a deeper hole, there's plastic palm trees you can get. Like I said, you can add the little sand island with a palm tree attached, maybe a turtle or something hanging out on the beach. Things like that would be really cute. But I wished it was more successful. Like I said, I tried to put time to show you guys how it works. But I like this glow in the dark. And of course, I have resin left over. I'll pour in something, and we'll make maybe another geode. Because I think we're due for a geode. It's been a while since we did one. I can also, in fact, let's just add some of these. I have these blue crushed glass, and we can just add a little bit of that around our edge, like so. To give them a little character. Like that. So those are cute. You can use little crushed glass. You can use little seashells. There's a lot of things you can use to dress this up. But I really wanted to show you the idea. I had hoped I'd be able to show you more with it. But sadly, we learn, and I try things, to learn the mistakes, to teach y'all what to do. Oh, so, what do y'all think? Is it something you're going to try? Or a meh? Anyway, y'all, I know it's short. It's not going to be a long one. I'm going to redo this, hopefully with more success. But I really hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you stay warm. If the weather's beautiful where you're at, get out, feel the sun, smell the air. Just enjoy some time with your family. Maybe go for a nice walk. Anyway, y'all, that's all I have for this one. I really hope you have a great weekend. I will have more stuff coming soon, including what I showed you with those big deep core molds. We'll create a scene of some kind. Like maybe include some of our pyramids that we have made that could look like art. What do you call them? Y'all, my brain's dead. What do you call it? What is this called? The little Arctic. You know what I'm trying to say? It's stuck in my brain cells today. You're welcome, Melinda. I am glad you liked it, and I hope you learned something. Yeah, that's all I have for this one. Make sure you do all YouTube things. Give us a thumbs up. Go subscribe if you haven't. And hit the bell so you don't miss the next one that's coming. Y'all know I'm here every Friday. We are live Friday with friends. So until then, happy fun, y'all.